Who's not coming down the track? It's a mean machine in red light. Ain't nothing finer in the rain. Just look at marching straight ahead. What's up, y'all? This is John, Mike, and Caleb back for another episode of the Nothing Finer podcast. And this is not any episode. This is episode 300. So with that being said, we are all off to fight the Persians. And
This is Nothing Fine Podcast.
but cheers, guys. It's been, what is it, 3.5 years. I don't know. Time's not real.
Yeah, something about that. 3.5 seasons at least, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. July of 2022 until the day before New Year's 2025. But this is the playoff preview episode. I know we have not talked a ton about all the other bowl games this year. Part of that is me going on vacation. The other part of that is I'm still sick, if you can't hear it. The doctor today, because I had to go back, told me that my lungs don't sound like they have fluid in them, but they sound like they're really far away. So,
where are your lungs? Where do they go?
I would love to know. I need them. Doing anything is difficult. Like, I get out of breath walking in from the car just because they don't want to work right now. So, part of me hopes that one of them's collapsed and, like, I have an excuse. But, we'll figure it out. I did also get told to go to the emergency room on Friday if I don't feel better. So
things are going well.
Treating me right.
I was gonna say that's what happens when you get old. That shit just fell on you right away.
Yeah.
All right.
Immediate.
I've gotten into how I've been, which is not great. So I'll go ahead and talk about what I'm drinking and then toss it to you guys because I've busted out the very old St. Nick Harvest Rye again. If you listen to the show for a while, you know that this bottle really only comes out for special occasions. I think I drank on this after the national championship and then at episode 100 and I believe 200. So busted this back out, 118 proof, and I just left disc golf club board meeting where I was bought many drinks at the quarter headed here. So I smell like
so you're ready to go.
I smell like cigarettes and PBR.
So how many fights do you get into the quarter?
I don't get into any. People avoid me because they're like, what is this person under the age of 60 doing in here?
That's fair.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've got some backstory for how I'm doing. Because so we go to South Georgia every year at Christmas time. And normally when we travel down there, we take my wife's car because she gets better gas mileage. But during Christmas, we take mine because it's a crossover and it's got more space for presents for the kid and stuff. So we take that. But for some reason, every year around Christmas time, we can't take my crossover because it won't start when we leave the house. Every year this happens. Inexplicably, something happens to the battery or whatever. So this year, somehow that didn't happen, and we were all set. We went to, we went down to South Georgia. We were driving down I-75, thinking, you know what, we did all right this year. We're gonna make it through, and we're gonna not have any issues. And then as we're driving down I-75, the engine just shuts off.
Oh, did you say it out loud?
Unfortunately, we did say it out loud.
That's where you messed up.
It wasn't immediately, but it was pretty soon after that. And so that was finally like we were able to turn the car on multiple times and get a few miles down the road at a time and make it down to where we were going, just by doing that. But the car is still down there, because nobody down there could see it until tomorrow. And we were coming back to town this past Friday. and we were not going to chance it in that
Fair.
car driving back up after that. And I'm done with that car, so we went out and bought a new one yesterday, and we'll figure out what to do with the old one once we figure out what's wrong with it. So, but I've had that car for over a decade now. Figure it's time to move on anyway.
That's how we got Kelsey's newest car. Hers was overheating, and it was under warranty, and it's still, I would be like, hey guys, it's a head gasket leak on the intake side. We're getting air in the coolant. I can tell you exactly what it is, but it's under warranty, so I want you to fix it. And they
Hmm.
were like, oh, that's not it. We're gonna keep
That's
looking.
yeah, that's how it goes for
And then it
whatever
ended up
reason.
being that, and they had to
Exactly what you
replace
think
the
it is.
entire engine under warranty, which took 3 months. And I was like, so the warranty covers a rental car for 7 days, and you need a car for how long?
Right.
Car's already paid off. I'm just buying a new one. Whatever.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, that's not quite where we're at because this car's been paid off for a while. It's got 155,000 miles on it.
Nice,
But
nice.
we were I completely lost my train of thought with that. But we
What'd you
were
get?
planning on sometime this year getting a new car anyway. We've been eyeing a Honda Pilot for ages because we're having more kids. And so we were like, let's just go get that Honda Pilot and we'll figure out the rest when we get there.
Happy Honda
Pilots are
Day.
nice.
Yeah, it's I enjoy it. We've had it for 2 days and I'm in love. So, Mike, how are you doing?
Man, I'm good. We just got back from Detroit Monday morning. We left like Sunday night because they were supposed to get like a bunch of snow and like 50-mile-an-hour gusts and stuff. We're like, forget that. We're gonna drive at like 7 p.m. and drive, the 14 or 15 hours to Savannah. So we did that. That was fun. Just going through all the construction and whatnot with their wind gusts and torrential rain until we got to Knoxville. So that was cool. Um, but no, I mean it was great up there. We did my daughter's third birthday party at my mom's house. Had people from my side of the family, my wife's side of the family come, and that was pretty cool. And it was actually unseasonably warm while we were up there. Like we didn't see any snow besides like the dirty black snow that's just been sitting there forever. It was like 50 degrees like 75% of the time we were up there. So that was interesting. Um, but no, happy to be back. It was like 70 when we got back, so that was dope. And then it got cold today. But yeah, for this special occasion, I became an adult and bought an actual adult liquor and got some Maker's Mark. So I have that mixed in my cup right now. But yeah, dude,
Nice.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Forgot to mention I spiked some Zaxby sweet tea I had left over for the occasion. So
Perfect.
Oh yeah, and I do got the Bussy's hat. We did
yes.
Yes.
make sure to stop in where did we stop? I guess outside of Pigeon Forge. So it was not busy at all. We went like it was like I don't know whatever time of day we went, but it was not. It was the least busy Bucky's I've ever been to.
The
Nice.
one that says St. Augustine, but it's actually like in the World Golf Village in
Yeah, yeah.
Florida down 95. It's never
Hmm.
busy. That like I will pass the one in Daytona to get to that one.
Yeah, the Daytona one's always crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have not. We did not stop at the one in Brunswick quite yet. I mean, we've gone by a couple times, and we haven't
We've
stopped there
been.
yet.
It's hit or miss. It's hit or miss. I will say, guys, I do have some bad news.
Oh,
This weekend, I will be in Gainesville, Florida,
Oh no.
and I will be begrudgingly uh, helping their economy. Uh,
No,
normally,
don't.
normally, what I do is I make sure I have gas and food and drinks before I get there. I refuse to contribute to their economy whatsoever, and I leave. Um,
we do the same thing in Ohio. Yeah, I stop in right. Yeah, I
Mhm.
stop outside of Cincinnati and get everything I need. Yeah.
and my, Marcus and Kendra, they're having a
Yep.
big holiday party because they've been
Mhm.
out of the country quite a bit here lately, and there's going to be a bunch of people over at their place because Kendra works for the University of Florida now, which it sucks. But when she had their kid, they gave her 6 months of maternity leave paid. So
Yay.
they do some cool stuff. But anyways,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
No, don't contribute to the Gainesville economy. You're so sexy.
um, completely threw me off. Anyways,
Mission accomplished then. All right.
no, we got a hotel room, and we're
Oh
probably gonna
God.
have to buy at least one meal in Gainesville. But I will not be going to Spurrier's.
Yeah,
Good.
don't.
Yeah. So what's funny is we were talking to somebody on the cruise, and we were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna be going to Gainesville soon," and they were Florida fans, and they're like, "Oh, you should go to Spurrier's." I'm like, "Absolutely not."
No.
Like, what do you mean? And I'm like, "Are you telling me that you want me to put money in the pocket of a man that hates me for existing? No,
No.
I'm not doing it."
No.
Um, but yeah, so I'm excited about going to see them. I'm not excited that it's happens to be in Gainesville. So, uh,
That's fair.
um, speaking of
May God have mercy on your soul. Anyway,
yeah, speaking of disappointing and wish we didn't have to do this, Miami
and state
versus
of
Ohio
Florida.
State in the Cotton Bowl. Sorry guys, I did not mean to cough directly in the microphone. Um, Ohio State 9.5 point favorite, over on 40.5. I will say neither team has played significant competition this year, but they both do have very good defenses. And I did the whole full level of competition index that I do for these sort of matchups where I don't really have a reason to go one way or the other.
Is that the
Um,
Loki?
yes.
Okay.
Um, and be honest, if I wasn't going to cough a million times going through it, I would do it. Uh, but basically, they're almost 10 spots of each other in every single category for opponent: scoring offense, rushing offense, passing offense, scoring defense, rushing defense, and passing defense. All those on the opponents. I will say Miami has played. They've played construction competition. They've played the very tip at the top, and they've played the worst of the worst. Miami has played 5 teams between 110 and 136 in passing defense. Um, in those games, Carson Beck has thrown 4 interceptions. So
Noted.
yeah, plays poorly against bad defenses.
And all four of those were against one team, right?
No, 2-2.
Oh, it was 2-2. Okay, fair
Yep.
enough then.
Um, and I like I said, I went through all this, and if I could breathe and talk, I would tell you. Oh, um, but here's the thing: I do believe that Ohio State is the better team, but do I still trust Ryan Day? Not really. Do I trust a 20-year-old freshman who fell flat against his only real competition of the season? Uh, Not really. Um, but on the other hand, do I trust Mario Cristobal? Absolutely not. Uh, but there are some things in this game that I do trust. Miami's defensive front is legit. Ohio State, top to bottom, has a great defense. Um, and then the last thing that I trust: Carson Beck to make bad decisions and hand the other team the ball. And because of
Yeah.
that, I'm taking Ohio State. That's it's really what it comes down to, because
Yeah.
they're similar teams. Miami has a worse secondary but a better defensive front, so that kind of cancels each other out a little bit. Um, they both have phenomenal wide receivers. They both have underrated running backs. They both have good but poor decision making quarterbacks. I just Julian saying it's one of those things of Julian Sayin isn't confident because he hasn't been in the spot. Carson Beck is confident because he's been in the spot, but he shouldn't be confident because he's been in the spot and hit his face on the floor every time. Maybe that's why his eyes are so wide apart. Like I don't. Some facial trauma has happened to that man because
Must have.
he has prey eyes. Like
Yeah.
animals, when their eyes are on the side of their helmet or on the side of their
Mm.
head, they're prey.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's an excellent point. Yeah, I'm actually really rooting for Miami in this game. Just because how satisfying I think it'll be for us to be the ones that send that bug-eyed traitor they have at quarterback home.
sure.
But I don't think they have much of a chance. Looking at it, I think Ohio State is better at basically every position, especially quarterback, defensive back, and as wild as this is to say, coach. So I think
Bar is
Ohio
low.
State wins and wins pretty comfortably. As much as I would love for Carson Beck to have to line up on the other side of Gunnar Stockton and prove he's a better quarterback than Gunnar, he's not.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I mean, going back to the coaching thing, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that are calling us crazy for not believing that highly in Ryan Day, especially after last season. But he's definitely better than Mario Cristobal because Ryan Day does know that kneeling the ball out
It's the way to win
is
a
the way
football
to
game.
win football games.
Right.
Um, and also Tennessee just returned something for a touchdown to take the lead for the first time of the game,
There we
or
go.
for the first time since the first quarter against Illinois.
I'm glad one SEC team is trying to pull their weight. Can we talk about how this is just another year where all the middling SEC teams lose the bowl games? Everyone's like, "Oh, what about SEC, SEC?"
Mm,
Well,
Like, congratulations on winning games that don't matter.
yeah.
let's, I mean, let's put percentage of starters from these SEC teams
That
that
are
are still
opting
playing
out. Yeah.
against the percentage of starters from the other team.
Yeah.
Because man, bowl season's killing me this year. Most of the games have been awful.
Oh
Yeah.
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 Like the Independence Bowl earlier today was fun because just the craziest things were happening. Coastal Carolina went to catch a pass. The dude got laid out. The ball flew directly into a Louisiana Tech player's hands for the craziest interception I've ever seen. And then 2 plays later, the Louisiana Tech player just drops the football on the ground to give it back to him. At some point, Louisiana Tech's going for a touchdown or a 2-point conversion or something, and Coastal has 10 players on the field, so a guy just runs in off the sideline and makes a tackle mid play. It's like
It's
Bowl
the
season.
best thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
all right, man. At least y'all are making it interesting because we've
Yeah.
seen too many 10-3 snoozers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but going back to this game, I'm kind of with Caleb in the sense that I do want Miami to win just because I mean, like we talked about last time we were all together, giant meteor is not an option for this game. Um, and I would like to see Carson back go up against this defense, and it would just be again like that LSU game in 2013-esque type, just vibes going into the game, revenge factor, and all that on either
Mhm.
side. Uh, One thing that I'm going to bring up that I don't think you guys did was that with Brian Hartline going to be the head coach at USF, Ryan Day's back calling plays on offense at Ohio State. There's
That's a
something,
factor.
yeah, that a big factor. I mean, Julian saying, I know he was a Heisman finalist, okay,
This
but he does
this
have
was a
different.
very underwhelming Heisman class.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
if it was pretty much any other year, I mean, he wouldn't even have come close to it, I'm sure. I mean, he 30 something touchdowns, he was fine. But again, look at competition, skill players he had.
If
Sure.
the Heisman Committee ever even remotely considered defensive players that don't have stats but just do their job, he wouldn't
Mhm.
have been up there too.
Jordan Davis might have finished ahead of him if that was this
Right.
2021. Who knows? But yeah,
Ryan
that's gonna
Day
be.
did call some damn good offenses back in the day, though.
He did. He did. I
Like
mean, he was a hell of an offensive coordinator.
he was the best offensive coordinator they've probably had recently.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Because I would take him over Chip and Brian Hartline.
Yeah.
Chip Chip Kelly is now at the OC in Northwestern.
How does he
That
keep failing downwards? Like that's how it's supposed to happen, but it doesn't happen in the world of football when people recognize your name.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, I mean, like Michigan when they fired Sharon Moore, they kind of Kyle Whittingham just fell into their lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Man,
don't
I
know how
just
that.
the only person in football who can fail downwards is
It's
Chip
Chip
Kelly.
Kelly.
Yeah. Wild.
If he wasn't such an asshole, he probably would have gotten another good job. But he also doesn't want to be a head coach, so I don't know. But I do think Ohio State probably covers this. I was listening to just a whole bunch of different people talk about it on the way back down from up north, and just people like Josh Pate were just super excited about how good the offensive defensive line was for Miami, and just said, "Oh, they have Miami has arguably the better quarterback, offensive line, defensive line." I don't know about all that,
No, no, no.
um,
I'll give him
but
defensive line.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll
that's
give him defensive line.
and really Miami. I'm not mad about taking A&M in the game in the first round just because that was wild conditions
Yeah.
in that game. So it's not
If
that
wind didn't exist,
A&M wins. We got to do something about that.
Yeah. All right. Come on, Tennessee. Let's.
Ooh.
oh
Uh,
good lord,
How do you let Illinois score 27 points?
How do you give them multiple 20-yard runs?
Right. Well, I was saying come on Tennessee because y'all are talking like well if the weather was different.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
well,
Yeah.
you said that right as on my phone, Illinois got a 20-yard run.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But they are
Timing.
playing in a dome, so weather is not going to be a thing. Wind
Yeah,
is not going to
that's
influence
true.
that.
That's gonna be some other excuse. Like the Alabama fans. An Alabama fan tried to tell me today there were 13 Alabama starters out during the SEC championship game, which is just blatantly not true, but whatever.
Yeah, but with all that
Um,
said, I am taking Ohio State.
Yeah.
all right, so some things that actually my wife just sent to me. She sent me a screenshot of a TikTok of an Ohio State fan, and it made me think of some things. You know, the last time Ohio State played a game on New Year's Eve?
Oh,
Yeah, I believe
yeah.
I remember watching the ball drop wide left that evening.
Right. That's also the last time they played a non-championship college football playoff game in a dome.
Mm.
Mhm.
Um,
No,
no, I
they
guess
they
it's not
played.
true because
Yeah, they played against the Cotton Bowl, right?
they played the Cotton Bowl last year. Okay,
Yeah, they
right.
did. Okay.
Um,
Still though, something to think about.
yeah. So, does it change any of your thoughts that they are playing on New Year's Eve for the first time since
Mm.
their
If
name?
if they were playing against a more competent opponent, it probably would. But Carson Beck and Mario Cristobal are still lining up on the other side of them, so I don't think it's going to matter. If Ryan Day does find a way to mess that game up, like he did the Peach Bowl a few years ago, I'm sure Mario Cristobal will do something even dumber.
That's a good point. Like,
I'm just here for the stupid mistakes in this game. It's gonna be comedy.
how close to the end zone is Miami going to choose to punt because they don't have confidence in Carson Beck or their kicker? Like, do they punt at the 30?
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm thinking 33, 34-yard line, they might just do it.
And you got a
And
three and a half million dollar
it'll be
quarterback.
commentated as well. Great, you could have gotten 3 points there, but they made the smart choice just pitting them back deep. Oh wait, it was a touchback.
Miami should just turn into Iowa and just punt on third down, even though you got a $3.5 million quarterback in
Yeah, there we
his
go.
year of eligibility.
All right, Oregon versus Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl. Oregon to an
Ooh, we
all
still
right,
alive over there? All right.
yeah, barely. Oregon 2.5 point favorite. Over under 51.5. I was hoping drinking this whiskey would help just kill the cougher back there. Has not worked yet. Oh, all right. The interview I did with Red Raider News didn't leave me feeling like Texas Tech was going to win this game. If you haven't listened to it, go back and do that. Super knowledgeable. But one thing that stuck out to me is that while Texas Tech has clear pathways to win this game, they have it's straight and narrow clear pathways in which they can win this game. Oregon, on the other hand, has a dozen different ways, and they are all wide, and it doesn't matter what direction you go on these paths. And the big difference is while Texas Tech is a really good team, and they are good up front, offensively, they're good up front. Defensively, they have a phenomenal running back in Cameron Dickey. They've got a good quarterback in Baron Morton. They've got good tight ends. The worst starting athlete for Oregon is more athletic than the most athletic person on Texas Tech team. Like top to bottom, starters versus starters, Oregon's worst athlete is still more athletic than Texas Tech top guy. And like that's not I think you could say that about almost every team in the country. Oregon's level of athleticism this year is wild. Every single person on their team is faster than you. Every single person on their team is quicker, twitchier. They just have an insane team top to bottom. Um, but the key for Texas Tech to win this game, if they have a chance, is to force turnovers, limit the run, and suffocate Dante Moore. And I don't mean rush the passer. I don't mean blitz one guy, but just completely collapse the pocket and give him nowhere to go. Because if they have an undisciplined pass rush, Dante Moore will go 15, 20 yards a carry on the offensive side of the ball. He's I would say he's a more athletic version of Oregon Bo Nix. Like he wants to throw the football, but if you don't give him a choice, he's not going to hesitate to pick up 20 yards on the ground. I do think Oregon wins this game, but I think it's, man, like if I got to pick, I would say Oregon covers because I think it's a 3-point win at like 30, 31-28. I don't think is out of the question.
That's not crazy at all. Yeah, I personally really believe in Texas Tech in this game. I really do. I know you said you don't. You said Texas Tech needs to force turnovers, limit the run, suffocate Dante Moore. But that's exactly what they've done all year long. And I know they've done it against Big 12 competition, but they have been killing everyone in that conference. So I don't see much of a reason to think that the best roster money can buy will just fold in the playoff like everybody else seems to think. This isn't Arizona State from last year. This is a very good, very complete team that just has not been tested a whole lot, which might make a difference. But, Oregon has had one difficult game and didn't, really do a whole lot in that one. I do think Texas Tech wins it. I think it's close. I think it's an overtime game. I think it's an instant classic, like you
Ooh.
said, scores everywhere. But I like Texas Tech in this one.
It's interesting that you brought up Arizona State. They're not Arizona State. Arizona State, with the worst team, did beat them this year.
Without their quarterback.
Yeah.
Yes, but at the same time, the Publix pharmacy is calling me right now. That's interesting. Um, um, Train of thought. Arizona State. No. All right. Arizona State is one of the few teams that I would say Texas Tech has played this year with a true dual threat quarterback, somebody that can beat you with his arm or his legs. They've played a lot of single threat guys that were running quarterbacks. They've played very few true dual threat guys. And also, the closest wide receiver to Jordan Tyson that Texas Tech will have played this year are Oregon's top three receivers. Like it's Jordan Tyson, Arizona State's or Oregon's guys, and then anybody else they've played. So, like as far as offensive firepower and type of offense and type of player, Arizona State was able to do things to that defense that no one else has been able to do.
Fair.
All right, so I'm I'm gonna go the other side of that. I'm gonna pick Oregon to win this game. Uh, not my old bias toward Texas Tech from last year, the year before, or whenever I started saying the things I would say about Texas Tech. Um, but I don't know. I mean, it really is a coin flip. I don't feel good about either one. I like Dante Moore a lot more than Morton. Uh, and obviously they have a game under their belt where I mean, it was glorified spring game for them. I mean, honestly, the spring game probably would have been better competition than JMU, but that's another story. But I am going to go with Oregon in this game. Dante Moore, Detroit MLK quarterback, took some seasoning, probably, I don't know, top two or three quarterback remaining in this playoff. I do like him a lot. Somehow he was third team Big Ten. I don't see, obviously Fernando Mendoza would have been ahead of him, but
It's going to be, you're never going to see an Ohio State quarterback not be top three.
yeah, no, that's fair. But it's just, I think the USC quarterback, was ahead of him too, or they were tied for third or something like that. But anyway, no,
Yikes.
but I'm taking Oregon to win just because I think they finally got a playoff win under Dan Lanning, and they have a little bit more seasoning with that, and they've played in these big time games. So I'm more confident in Oregon than I am Texas Tech, but I am excited to watch this game.
Um, it is wild that this is the noon game, like in the hangover spot on New Year's Day.
Right.
Um, and then also, did you know that Dante Moore is in his second season in starter, third season in college football. He is the number one quarterback prospect in this year's draft.
Interesting.
He's a month younger than Julian Sayin.
Wow.
Well, and he started it for a year at UCLA.
Yep. And then he sat last year at Oregon, and then he
Mhm.
started this year at Oregon. He's younger than Julian Sayin, who just won Big Ten Freshman of the Year.
He might have jumped. He might have reclassified in
Julian,
high school. Yeah. Or
well, Julian Sayin, he sat for a year, but
no,
still,
I
like
mean Dante Moore.
people
Yeah.
talking about, oh, Julian Sayin, for him to lead the country in completion percentage is just absolutely wild that he's this young, leads the country completion percentage as a freshman. Like, yo, this man will be old enough to drink before next football season as a sophomore. Let's not pretend that. Let's not like go back to the who's the kid in South Carolina that was 17 and oh he's supposed to be a prom but he's throwing touchdowns in the
Yep.
SEC.
Was it Doty?
No, it was before him. It was Jake Fromm time period.
I
Anyways,
can't.
you know what I'm talking about. Like y'all are not talking about him like you were Ryan Williams. This kid might technically be a freshman, but he's not a teenager. Like he, anyways, that just
A lot of life
big
experience for him. Yeah.
Big Ten media drives me insane with the wild yoga mind bending narratives they will try to do just to somehow shove it to the SEC. It's like, hey guys, we're still gonna beat you.
Mhm.
Push whatever narrative you would like to. We're still gonna win. Guys, I'm gonna try to edit out all this coughing to the best of my ability. But it's gonna be tough. All right. Speaking of going to be tough, Alabama versus Indiana in the Rose Bowl. Indiana 7-point favorite, over under 47.5. Interesting thing about this game. It's supposed to rain for 2 straight days leading into this in Pasadena, California. And what do you see most teams do when it rains?
Run the damn ball.
Run the damn ball. What is Alabama completely incapable of doing?
Running the damn football.
Running the damn football. And so in here, I said, if in an area that doesn't rain, it doesn't drain. And what that means is, unless they've decided to build drainage underneath the Rose Bowl field, these players might be playing in ankle deep water by the end of the game. Hard, dry ground does not take water like in Savannah, we don't have gutters on houses because the ground is so used to rain that it just drains right off, right? That's not how it works in the desert. Fun fact. That's why flash floods occur in the desert more than they occur anywhere else. So it's entirely possible that they're playing in ankle deep water by the end of this one. And even if it doesn't get that bad, things that travel in football, Georgia fans, rushing, and defense. Alabama has none of those. You could argue they have a little bit of defense. They're the healthiest their defense has been all year. But I still think Indiana's better defensively and has better rushing attack than Alabama does. At the end of the day, Indiana's a more physical team. Indiana has a better ground game. Indiana has a better defense. I think that Indiana is able to turn around the tragic history of their program. And what I mean by that is University of Indiana or Indiana University, because they call it IU, they've never scored a touchdown in the Rose Bowl in the history of the football program. That changes. They have not won a bowl game since 1991. I might be old now. I was not alive in 1991 to see Indiana's last bowl win. I think they make a semifinal for the first time. I don't. And Alabama has done nothing to give me confidence in their ability to beat a team designed like Indiana. Like I don't necessarily believe in this game. Fernando Mendoza shows everybody, oh, this is why I won the Heisman. Like the dude's probably got 60% completion, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception, some rushing yards, but the defense just suffocates Alabama. And that's kind of the difference maker there. Oh, Kaleb, if you're talking, you're muted. Somebody
I
had to do it.
apologize. I forgot I muted myself. Yep.
Somebody had to do
It
it.
wasn't me. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hot take. Indiana does not score their first Rose Bowl touchdown in this game, but they win the game anyway. Smash that under, boys. This game's going to be a rock fight. Indiana wins 6-0 for all the reasons already mentioned.
In one of the most forgettable Rose Bowls of all time.
Facts.
Yeah, we've had some classics the last 20-ish years in the Rose Bowl. This is, definitely not going to be one of them.
Look, eventually there were so many points scored in the 2018 game. We gotta balance this out somewhere.
You got to realize the 2017 Rose Bowl was that Penn State versus USC with like 30 NFL players on the field at any given point in time kind of thing. And obviously that's an exaggeration because there are only 22 players on the field. But like both quarterbacks still in the NFL, all 4 running backs in that game still in the NFL. 5 of those wide receivers still in the NFL. Both tight ends still in the NFL. I think 4 of the 10 total offensive linemen still in the NFL from that 2017 Rose Bowl. That the Rose Bowl has given more than it has taken. And this one, we're not going to get a Rose Bowl sunset. We might not see the sun. As Kid Rock said, I ain't seen the sunshine in 3 damn days. I don't expect to see an Alabama win in 3 damn days either.
No, and I get everything that you guys are saying. I do think Alabama's going to cover this game because you said you have it at 7. I saw it at 6.5 earlier, but
I've seen it
then,
anywhere from 5.5 to 8.
oh, dang. No, but I think Alabama's going to cover. Indiana's probably going to win. There's not a whole lot of logic to it because you guys very logical made a good point, a lot of good points. But kind of go back to that first round game that Alabama had against Oklahoma, where they had a disastrous first 20 minutes, and then kind of Oklahoma started falling apart. Sorry, daughter's laughing at me trying to make a case for Alabama.
She was laughing at Alabama's 5th quarter of the SEC championship game.
Yeah. They excuse me. They obviously made it happen the last 40 minutes of that game. And just Oklahoma kind of fell apart. I don't know if it was the Alabama, just the laundry factor and all that. Probably not. It's probably just more so just Oklahoma than anything. But just 2 different sides, but history-wise, obviously history doesn't have anything to do with this because it's 2025 teams going against each other, not what they've been historically. But one of the best programs in college football history going against the most losingest program.
Second losingest now.
Who did they beat out?
I don't know, but their 13th win this year got them in second to last place.
It's got to be Northwestern, right?
Yeah, surely.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Even though Northwestern did win a game more recently, because Northwestern won their bowl game, right? Yeah, they beat the hell out of Central.
They did.
Yeah, so they might be tied for last now again.
Yeah. Try to look that up, but I do think it's gonna. I know Kirk Cignetti hates Alabama. I know Connor and Will talked about that in their preview pod. But there's no way that Indiana's gonna blow them out. I don't think so. Not with all that. And again, it's not logical or anything like that. But I do think that Bama's gonna cover that, but Indiana wins. And
yeah, I don't think it'll be a blowout. I agree that Alabama probably covers. I don't see this game going past 6 points.
Yeah. Oh, guys, we're dumb. First off,
we know that.
We knew that. Yeah.
Yeah. Wake Forest has a worse winning percentage.
Oh, even with Jamie Newman as their quarterback for a little bit?
Yes.
Wow.
And also, Indiana still has 3 more losses than Northwestern all time. Yeah,
poverty program.
neither of them is very far ahead of Rutgers, and based on the trajectory of all these programs, Graciano is racing to the bottom.
I'm surprised. I forgot. You know what? Rutgers has forgot about so much that I forgot that Graciano was even there.
Uh, doing the Loki today, I was sitting there, and Ohio State had Rutgers on their schedule, and I was like, man, Rutgers is a power conference team, aren't they? Look at them. Look
And
at
well,
them
and
go.
And they were in the Big East with Miami for the longest time. I mean, they joined the Big Ten. They weren't a power conference. Well, I mean, I don't know if you want to consider them a power conference
The
team.
Big
I
East was a power conference
I
at
was
the
about to
Yeah,
say
time. Come
the
on
Big
now.
all that
East
were
was
there.
They
power.
got an automatic BCS bid.
But but Rutgers is getting their face kicked in the Big East as well before they joined the Big Ten. So
Mm.
birthplace
Yeah,
of college football, people are saying, or we're saying, still saying.
I mean, it's technically still true.
I mean, since we're talking about a team that's just gotten their face kicked in for the most of college football, Ole Miss versus Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. Georgia 7-point favorite, over under 55.5, and we do have a calling the dogs. So we're going to go ahead and get to that.
So I just want to start by saying congrats on your 300th episode. It was a fun to start with, and keep it going, boys. I'm proud of y'all. But going into the Sugar Bowl, every rematch that's happened this season, the team that lost the first game won the second game. Well, hopefully that's going to happen this game. Hottie Toddy, Fraser Tutty, I don't give a fuck. Give me the dogs by 50. Go dogs.
And that was Wes with a calling the dogs for episode 300 here. If y'all have not been with us since the beginning, Wes and I did the podcast for a while until he became a drill sergeant, and for some reason, defending the country was more important than you guys. I will let you send him messages about it. And then, we've kind of transitioned a couple of hosts between now and then, and I do need to once I finish this. All right. So thanks, Wes, for calling in. If you want to be part of calling the dogs, we will read the number off in a minute. Illinois has just knelt the ball out the 5-yard line to kick a field goal to win. Instead of trying for a touchdown, they are going to trust that their kicker, in the year of the missed kick, can win them this game.
Surely that won't go wrong.
I hope it does. I don't want Tennessee to win this game, but it would be funny to just. We're not
It
gonna.
would be. What
We're
do
not
college
gonna try
kickers
again.
do,
Live
guys?
live
What-
react. He's about to
what-
kick on my phone.
Oh well,
What do-
you're like 30 seconds ahead of me.
Yeah, I'm behind too. He's getting lined up on my
Tennessee,
screen.
my God, 8-5 yet again. Stop with the saying Texas A&M is the 8-4, 8-5 team.
So I'm guessing he made the kick on Mike's phone.
Yeah.
To put
Oh,
him ahead of me.
I mean that was the greatest kick of ever. I mean, it was perfectly symmetrical down the middle.
Okay, I'm about to see he's kicking it off.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Nope, y'all are both ahead of me. Oh, they did center cut this guy with kneeling the football down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And now that I know what's gonna happen, here's my live reaction. Anyways,
You know what? You can say a lot of things about Illinois, but you can't take away the fact that they're the Music City Bowl champions for
That's right.
2025.
I bet Tennessee wins this game if they use the practice facilities of a
Vanderbilt.
D1 SEC university that's in the city that they're playing in that was offered to them to practice for this bowl game.
That probably would have helped.
Yeah, fun fact, Vanderbilt offered rival Tennessee their facility, and Tennessee declined, and they practiced at high school.
Play stupid games. I mean, I would have told Kirby to do the same thing if we were playing a game in Gainesville.
No, dude, I would have wanted, dude, absolutely not. I'm gonna send Instagram messages to players like, hey, dude, leave a Gatorade bottle full of piss in their ceiling tiles.
I would say carve something angry in the stall when you're taking a dump.
Like,
that's fair.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyways, Georgia versus Ole Miss Sugar Bowl. So I did a little bit of a deep dive in this. I promised some people that listen to the podcast that I was going to go through this because I did a big deep dive into how Georgia's played since the fourth quarter started of this game the first time around, October 18th. Um, and if I had not had wrist surgery the day before, this probably would have required me to go to a cardiologist from sitting in the stands of this game. But Krypton fanfare played. Fourth quarter starts. We and those that were paying attention, and maybe they showed it on TV, saw Kirby Smart just rip multiple new buttholes into the secondary. Multiple. Like they all walked away wondering which one they poop out of. And here's how the defensive numbers have looked since that point in time. They've allowed 64.6 rushing yards per game, 178.2 passing yards per game, and 11.6 points per game. To put that into perspective, if that played out through an entire football season, that is first in the country in rushing defense, 18th in the country in passing defense, fourth in the country in scoring defense. Do you know who's currently in almost identical spots to the numbers that I just said?
I'm going to say it's one of those teams that everybody praises the defense of.
Indiana.
Yeah, okay, yep.
And so, since, to include that fourth quarter, Georgia has played two playoff teams in Ole Miss and Alabama, and they played number 10 Texas and number 23 Georgia Tech.
And Tech should have won the ACC if they, were competent. But yeah.
Yeah.
They've played more ranked teams since October 18th than the following teams have all season long. Oregon, Texas Tech, Alabama, Indiana, Ohio State. And they put up the numbers that would be the best in the country if they were extrapolated out for an entire season. And so that's like a switch got flipped. When the fours went up, the switch got flipped in that game. And for Ole Miss to win this game, they're going to have to win a game in which they never punt the football. They have a quarterback go crazy against a defense like this. Like, let's just say 263 yards, 7.3 yards per attempt, one passing touchdown, 4.7 yards per carry, and two touchdowns on the ground. A game that they start fourth quarter with a two-possession lead, maybe. Oh, wait. That we've already seen.
They already did that.
We've already seen that.
Yeah.
Georgia's.
Did Ole Miss win that game? Remind me.
No, they did not.
Okay, gotcha.
They blew a two-possession lead in the fourth quarter. Actually.
Huh.
Yeah. And what has Ole Miss decided to do this week, given what happened in October? What Georgia's defense has done since, and given that Gunnar Stockton had the best game of his career, in which he did not throw an incompletion in the second half of the football game.
I believe I heard them talk trash this week, John.
They surely they did, because their defensive line says Georgia's offensive line isn't special.
Juan Gaston?
No, that guy's not special.
Yeah.
Then Trinidad Chambliss says he's excited to play against Georgia's defense.
Uh-huh. You ain't seen this one. You ain't seen this one.
Does he attempt to enter the portal at halftime? Is my question. And so in this game, in which everything went their way, let's put it like this. Things went more their way in Athens this year than they went in Oxford last year, and the big difference was the leadership on Georgia's offense this year and why they won the game this year versus losing 28-10 in Oxford last year. Because last year in Oxford, they had more turnovers. Their quarterback got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Everything went wrong in the first half of that game, and they still won. Didn't this time. And Georgia's gotten better. and statistically that's provable. 12 of Georgia's 20 sacks on the season have come since November 1st. And Ole Miss, somehow their players are acting like it's foregone conclusion that they're the better team and that they're going to win. And this is while their entire offensive coaching staff is doing double duty, which means they're doing half duty both places. And Georgia's healthier now than they were in October. Colby Young is back. Ethan Barber is back. And I know that Gabe Harris is out, Janelle Guerrero is out, Kyron Jones is still out. But as far as the nickel, star, spear, whatever you want to call that position, Rayshawn Jenkins has played that over the last few weeks just as good, if not better, than anybody else has this season. I'm not worried. You're telling me a 4-star transfer has played next to no time this season, and Elo cannot pronounce his last name.
Medozi?
Yes. You're telling me he gets a chance and doesn't do anything? You're telling me Quintavious Johnson has a few weeks to get healthy and doesn't do something against these boys again? Come on now.
Yeah.
And going back to the offensive side of the ball, what's the one thing that took the biggest hit when Colby Young went out?
Deep ball.
Yeah.
Deep ball and blocking on the outside for the run
yes.
game.
And the screen game. We hadn't seen one of those 50-yard takeoffs from Zach Branch since.
Because
Colby's
Colby's a savage when it comes to blocking. Oh, and you're telling me a guy that's a true freshman that started week 1 because of how good of a blocker he was is back, and the blocking's not going to get better? The run game's not going to get better against a defense that already struggled to stop the run against Georgia the first time? Come on.
Right.
He
started and immediately made an impact in the blocking game, by the way.
Yep.
Exactly.
He's basically the fullback in that first game.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like Ethan Barber is the most overlooked healthy return for this game. And with everything that Ole Miss has said and done this week, Georgia's done the opposite, man. The Dogs are about to be all bite, no bark, because they let the other team just talk and talk and talk. But Ole Miss ain't walked a walk since the football teams were desegregated. The cobwebs have not set in on Georgia's last playoff trophy, and Ole Miss is talking like they got to make room for their next one. This is a been there, done that versus a no clue, never will. And I think Georgia wins this game pretty going away.
Yeah, remind me what happened last time Georgia, as the been there, done that team, took on a never will.
That was
actually,
right?
That was the 2023 national championship game, if I'm not mistaken.
A team that just kicked off against USC.
That's right. Yep. Man, 2 pathetic programs going at it right here.
Hey, no defense will be found at the Alamo Bowl again. I'm here for
facts. That's what makes it fun.
Remember the Alamo.
Yeah, remember. Just don't remember to defend it. So there are a couple of things to look at in this game. You broke it down at a pretty broad level. When I'm looking at individual matchups here, number one to me is the Ole Miss front on defense and offense against the Georgia front on defense and offense. And Georgia has guys hurt on both lines, as you mentioned. But what Georgia has that Ole Miss does not have is depth at those positions. They have precisely no depth. They do not rotate these guys whatsoever. And again, Georgia's figured out, no matter who's been out there the last few weeks, how to really be physical up front on both sides of the ball. They're going to create nightmares for this Ole Miss front that I don't think they're ready for, the way they're talking. A lot of people are talking about the fact that they played close to the same game against Tulane as they did the first time. So there's no drop-off without Lane Kiffin. To me, watching that game, it had a lot more to do with the fact that their skill position players are just more talented, much better than Tulane's.
Tulane and Georgia have not been comparable since the 30s. Come on now.
Facts. But I also have to say the guys up front, at Ole Miss. They weren't contending with an SEC level front, but even Tulane was given 51 on Ole Miss's defensive line hell all game.
Yep.
Uh, any coach can win any game with that big of a talent advantage, except Sunbelt Billy apparently. This week they don't have that, and this Georgia front has substantially improved from the first time that they played. So I expect Ole Miss to score. Gabe Harris being out is going to make a difference. I don't necessarily expect that they'll score on the first 5 drives again, but I think they'll score some points. But I don't think they'll be able to score enough against this improved defense to win the game without Lane Kiffin making all those adjustments on the fly that made his offense so successful the first time. And that's something not a lot of people are talking about, but they were talking about it the whole Ole Miss game when it happened the first time. We'd see, Trinidad Chambliss make these stupid throws down the field, and then in the replay they'd be like, look, here's Lane Kiffin making a signal to Trinidad Chambliss, basically telling him what he's reading in the defense and what to do. I don't know if he's ready yet to make those calls on his own against a defense like this that is disguising. So I also want to point out that Kirby Smart is 21-0 against first-year head coaches. So give me Georgia to win. Give me Georgia to cover. I do like maybe about a 2-score game, not necessarily a blowout, a nice 10-point game, but the kind of 10-point game where very early in the third quarter this thing's over.
No, I'm with you 100% with that. It may not be a huge blowout by any means, but Lane, you guys talked about Lane Kiffin a little bit. He is going to be at the game. He's sitting in the governor's box.
The same governor that said we're not going to be doing this with head coaches again, and then gave Lane an almost Jimbo-like contract.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, one of the poorest states in the country that just paid a coach like half of the state's GDP to leave, and then promised the next coach 3/4 of the state's GDP. And obviously, those are exaggerated numbers, but we're not super far off.
Yeah, like, it's the math still ain't mathing.
If you take New Orleans out of the equation, Louisiana, that might be half of the state's GDP.
Yeah.
You're taking books out of the kid's hands, who's already 50th in literacy. But yeah.
If you've watched any bowl game with Louisiana University this year, their commercials have talked about how they're improving in education.
They can't get worse.
They can't get worse.
I mean, it's talked about if you had a 3.0 in a Louisiana school, you got a full ride to LSU. That tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Especially in out that way. But
guess who had a 3.8 and couldn't get into his state's university?
See, that's where you messed up. See, I was a 3.0 student too, but did all the community colleges in Georgia and bumped that GPA up and got in as a transfer. So shout out.
Yeah, I should have done that. I was too lazy.
Yeah, I had a 3.0 and just didn't want the student loans.
That's also fair.
Dang. Yeah, I couldn't get into UGA right now, even if I did all the transfer stuff. But anyway, no, but I do think Georgia's going to cover this game for sure. With all the guys and everybody that you talked about so far coming back. Obviously, Gabe Harris is a big hole that's going to be left there on the defensive line, but I just feel good. I mean, I think that really the thing that comes down to is that, again, the coaching staff doing the double duty, like John talked about, between LSU and Ole Miss. I'm like, there's no way, again, with the helmet communication, you trust Charlie Weiss Jr. over Lane Kiffin making calls to the quarterback during before the play snap, before the ball is snapped and all that. So I do think Georgia's going to cover that game and win by at least 10. So it's going to be a much better Sugar Bowl this year. You can't spell Sugar Bowl without UGA. Honestly, what I really want to happen is this be like a Hawaii UGA-esque.
That would be. I think there's a chance of that. I don't know that I'm 100% calling it, but boy, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, I wouldn't put money on it necessarily, but that would be. I mean, there's not going to be black jerseys in this game, as we know, but should be good.
The equipment page made sure we knew before Christmas.
Yeah, they didn't even bother with the teasing this time.
I will say, I'm almost expecting this to be the closest we've seen to like 2015 Alabama joyless murder ball that we've seen out of Georgia this year.
I hope
I
so.
will say, I think the only difference is going to be this Georgia team. I think will take a lot of joy in the murder ball that they play.
Oh no, like it's joyless for everybody that's
Not a Georgia
not
fan.
a Georgia player or fan watching this game.
Fair,
Like as
yeah.
Georgia fans, we're just like, oh, we got 22 personnel, 5 yards, let's go. And then it takes a full 40-second play clock for the ball to get snapped again for
Yep.
another 5-yard run, in
And I'm
which
gonna be
we never
dancing.
actually see the running back. It's just we see the pile move
Josh
5
McCray
yards
just
at a time.
surrounded by everybody. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is one of those. I fully expect at least one Georgia touchdown for us to just witness a pile get moved from like the 7-yard line into the end zone.
That's football,
Hey,
baby. That is
man,
football.
I talk with Lincoln all the time about that. I'm like, dude, if you see your quarterback get strung up, man, push him.
Mm-hmm.
Push that pile.
Hit him as hard as you can in the direction you're going.
Yeah. Push
Yeah.
like you're trying to take Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else.
All right, y'all, that's going to do it for this episode. We have not talked about when we're recording the recap episode because I will be out of town this weekend. So Friday or Sunday night, we will be doing the recap, talking a little bit about the semifinals. But if you haven't already, follow us on social media. It's going to be the best place to find out that information at Nothing.Finer@Pod on Instagram, at FinerPod on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Just look us up. You will find us there. And if you are still sitting here with us, thank you for getting through my coughs if I was not able to edit those out. Also, if I die before Friday, we probably won't have another episode. So
There's a good chance, yeah.
yeah, it just is what it is. But also if I'm in the emergency room because my lungs ran away from me, like the doctor thought.
That's also a possibility.
You saying that makes me have no confidence that if I have a real medical emergency in this city, I'm going to make it out. Your lungs ran away.
No, she said they sound like they're far away.
Same difference.
Yeah,
I don't understand what that means.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound strictly medical, but we'll go with it.
You know what? She was nice, and she called the VA for me to make sure that my prescriptions got covered. So if she says my lungs are running away, I want just, hey, Shawty, I'm gonna ride with you. Where they going? I'll follow. All right. As always, y'all remember there's nothing finer in the land
than a drunk, obnoxious,
all that.